Hello and welcome to another edition of Block Punks with me, Gillian Gotzel, for the Crypto Writers podcast. I am delighted to invite to the show today Roman Zarowski, who is the CEO of AllyNow.com, which is a startup platform based out of California, but looking to disrupt the food delivery and delivery business in the world, starting off in California, one state and country at a time. So Roman, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Hi, Jillian. Such a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
So we know that, in the 90s, digitalization, we had a lot of projects that came through that were, the sharing economy. We had Airbnb, we had social media. We had a lot of things that came through that were meant to help people, the little people. And we have become more aware, more sophisticated recently in recent years that they're not really helping the little person. And the main company is the entity that generates the most income. So tell me, in looking with Ally Now, you were looking at the food delivery and driver, both sides of the coin. Where did you get your initial impetus from, and what wrongs were you seeking to right?
Perfect. So this is an internal passion that I personally have and that's the reason why I started all of this. I come from a technology, automation, machine learning background with a desire to help businesses. So I've helped over 600 businesses become profitable and grow and take back and maximize their revenue over the past probably 5 to 10 years. Working with these businesses, I constantly saw the disadvantages they undergo with these large platforms taking huge commissions, and I decided to do something about it. So I put all of the technology that we've developed over the past couple of years and set out to really provide an ecosystem that allows merchants to take back their customers, own the experience, their reputation, and grow, get access to marketing tools, push notifications, geofencing, strong loyalty programs, and then also get connected to drivers. And that is also very, very important because I saw that drivers are exponentially being disadvantaged, and the commissions are getting higher and higher, and it's harder for them to make a living, and they have to hustle, and a lot of them become very agitated and upset because they have to focus on the volume, which does not provide a cohesive working experience for them, and essentially a lot just they don't provide a good service because of this. And kind of the person that ends up paying for all of this at the end is the end consumer. The merchants usually have to increase their prices to cover the commissions. The delivery prices go up to roughly anywhere between 30 to 40% because of the commissions. And the consumer is left holding the bag, paying for all of this. And the service is not that great. Merchants' reputations suffer, and essentially creates a really, really unhealthy ecosystem. So we set out to solve this. So we empower merchants with iOS, Android web applications to help them take back their customers. Merchants get the Service Ally suite, which connects them to consumers and merchants and allows them to accept the orders that they want to take, fully transparent. And then the end consumer obviously directly deals with the merchants and benefits and roughly saves 30%. Yeah, I can keep going and going.
No. It's you are actually addressing. There's a lot of projects out there that sort of, they say, oh, we're going to solution, but there isn't a problem sometimes. And I think what you're addressing is, and it's both sides of the coin. It's the merchant and it's the driver. It's delivery service. It's bringing fairness to one, giving more control and skill sets and tools to the former. And at the end of the day, the biggest beneficiary is the customer, which is what everyone wants to be happy, because if there are no customers, you haven't got a business. So I think you're spot on in what you're doing. So one of your concepts is the third party marketplace. You want to get rid of that because that's there people taking money for not providing great service, both sides.
So I have two views on that. The first view is I don't see these marketplaces as evil. I just see them as used in the wrong way. Let's put it this way. I envision Uber Eats, DoorDash, Postmates, Grubhub, Eat24. But also, by the way, we don't only do food. We do pretty much any type of delivery. We do pharmaceuticals, products, groceries, anything like that. But
I was going to get to that because I was listening to you, and I'd focused on the food end of things, but when you said merchants, I'm going, there's more. So yeah, that'll be interesting. We'll look at that later. But sorry, I interrupted you. We were saying about how third-party marketplaces are not necessarily evil, maybe just not doing the best job.
So I think they're doing a good job for what they set out to do. I do not think they're evil. I think they're marketing companies. I think they provide a value by giving merchants new customers, and I think they should be compensated for it. And if it's a commission, just like an affiliate program or something like that, I think that's very valuable. The problem comes where merchants start depending on it, and they don't do any of the work themselves, and they just basically just sit back and let the orders come in. And what they don't realize is their margins are reduced by 20 to 30%. And in the restaurant industry specifically, restaurants don't have a margin that high. So essentially, they're working their butts off to make money for DoorDash, Postmates, Grubhub, and other companies where they shouldn't be. They should be using them as marketing platforms, getting the customers, converting them to their own customers, and growing their own brand, and just using them as what, in my mind, they're intended to be, which is a marketing solution.
So what your tagline on your website, allynow.com, is take back your customers, your time, and your revenue. So how do you help merchants do those three things?
Perfect. So the customers, which is very important because that's the lifeblood of the merchants and that's allowing them to grow, is most merchants don't have an online presence or enterprise technology to empower them. So we have developed a suite of tools mainly to iOS, Android, and web platforms to help them have a branded experience. So a merchant would have their own logo, their own colors, their own menu would be their application, and they would be able to own 100% of their data and grow their brand. So that for merchants is very, very important. And then secondary for merchants, they get access to cool tools like loyalty, push notifications, geofencing, pretty much a whole suite of tools to automate their business and help them grow. But mainly it's to help them take back their customers. For revenue, we do not charge a commission. We are a software as a service solution, so we stay away from the transaction, and we only charge a very, very small software fee to cover our overhead, and basically the rest goes to the merchant.
I like that. You're a software company, not a transaction company. Yep. So isn't that interesting? You know, because most software companies, they take it off the transactions, but you're saying we're going to give you a service, a software, and that's where the fee is paid, and we don't touch your customer in that regard. That's innovative, and it's a different way of looking at things. So what type of things, I was looking at your site, you have things, for example, with the drivers, you can organize them to deliver in batches. So there's clever things that you're doing. It's not just, you know, merchant, marketplace and drivers. You're helping everybody work more effectively.
Yes. So we built this to service pretty much any need from a driver point of view, well, and merchant point of view. We also understand that no merchant is the same. You have some subscription models. Meal prep services are really big right now. The onesies and twosies deliveries, being able to have window deliveries, curbside pickup, drop off, all of these things are very, very important. And we built our platform to accommodate all of that. So drivers can actually build out their day. They can accept individual deliveries, route-based deliveries. They can see everything and plan out weeks and months in advance if they so choose, and get organized. And our platform takes care of all of the routing, organization. Our algorithms quote all of the delivery prices. We take over 15 things into account when doing so, and then our solution to the traveling salesman problem allows for very efficient routing to the final destination, which is very important to drivers, because if they waste time, that's money. Time is money for them. So making sure that everything's efficient is very important to us.
That I say, and again, what's coming through to me in our conversation here today is that you're a software company and you are applying the best of software, not marketing, software, to make these interactions as efficient as possible. How has COVID impacted your development and the industry?
So I feel that COVID has drastically hurt merchants because of obviously the loss of business. And I believe these other platforms haven't helped, even though the like DoorDash's, Postmates, Grubhub's, they've lowered their fees, but they went down from 30% to 15%, and that's still huge. But so we've seen an extreme growth in merchants needing and understanding that they need another solution. They need a solution like Ally. The second they hear us, they're like, "We've been looking for this for a long time. No one offers this. Finally, a solution that actually cares about us, that empowers us to actually grow, and most importantly, provide a better experience for their end consumer." So we've seen a drastic increase in the amount of delivery requests from end consumers because they're stuck at home. They can't go to restaurants. They need to be able to order food at home, and services and pharmaceuticals and prescriptions and things of that nature to be delivered. So we've seen a growth. It's sad because this growth was caused by COVID, but I'm personally very happy that we've been able to help so many businesses, and most importantly, drivers, put food on the table. That's very important to me.
What is the size? Because this business is operational now. So what is the size of your business in terms of like businesses and drivers? And
So we've been operational since 2019. Unlike other projects, we actually focused on building a solution, bringing it to the market, testing it, and then expanding it over time. So currently we are all over the United States, in all 50 states. We have over 500 brands, over 2,000 locations, and currently we have around a bit more than 90,000 drivers on our platform, and about another 20 to 25,000 people on a waiting list. We do still have a lot of growth to do here in the United States, but we feel with COVID and businesses opening up and becoming a little bit more free, and it's just a good time for us to bring our solution to the rest of the world. And we see this as an opportunity to also support the decentralization of all of our blockchain protocols that we've built, that we've been running centralized. And this is a very good time for us to expand and bring the solution global. So yeah.
how are you funding your expansion?
So we've been profitable. So we've all decided to reinvest our earnings and focus on expansion and awareness, and kind of the education of the solution, and having merchants and drivers on board. And we've been self-funding it.
And what's the roadmap for allynow.com?
So we've built all of our core tech. We've been testing it for the past 2 years. We just recently launched our Chat Ally app, which allows communication tools for drivers and merchants and customers to interact with each other and communicate.
Brilliant.
We have a lot of really cool tech on the platform in development. We also released the Merchant Ally app probably a couple of weeks ago that allows merchants to aggregate their orders from other platforms and manage their orders in one place, and pretty much have an easy way to manage their business. And that also integrates with their current technologies. We have partners such as Stripe, Clover, Square, Revel, all of those companies we've partnered with to provide a direct integration and empower the merchants to kind of automate their business. But mainly we have kind of some POS applications coming out. We have, this is a kind of a cool thing that we're going to be announcing soon, and that's been in development, is our autonomous rover technology. So we've architected in our building and prototyping a delivery robot that is very, very unique, because the actual rover is separated from the actual container object, allowing merchants to have their own containers, allowing them to have different types of containers, lockers that get attached to the rover, and facilitate an autonomous delivery, essentially even more lowering down costs for the end consumer.
That'll be exciting. Are these like drones?
Very, very. But we understand that drones for that fly still have a long way to go, because they have hard ways of getting into apartment buildings and things of that nature. So we decided to focus on the on-road solution, and then eventually we're going to do a hybrid model that will probably be able to fly and be on road at the same time, allowing for a very nice experience for everyone.
That is exciting.
But from an expansion standpoint, outside of technology, is, as I mentioned, we're all over the United States, and we're gearing up and focusing the expansion outside of the United States to bring the technology to other countries.
So people want to find you. What's the best way to contact you, Roman, or to find out more about your company?
So they're welcome to join us on our Telegram. The main way is they can go to allynow.com. If they want to learn more about the blockchain side, they can go to direct.allynow.com, and then they'll find all of the information about our platform. They'll be able to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Telegram. So, and I really believe in the community aspect and connecting and answering questions. So I'm always on the Telegram. So if there are anyone who have any questions, happy to answer them.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for your time today. It sounds very exciting. I love what you're doing. I love the innovation, the disruption. They're going back to core principles. You're a software company, as well as many other things too, as well. But it's you're adding value through technical innovation as opposed to marketing fees, or transactions. I like that a lot. That adds value. Marketing is great, but technology is better, I think. So thank you so much for your time today, Roman. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Jillian. It was such a pleasure, and thank you for having me. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you.